Today we're going to talk about how to learn from other investors. That's what I want to talk about today. And this is a part of Good morning, Isaac. Good morning, Irina. T Boy, I don't know who you are. Do you mind telling us who you are? ST Boy. That's what it says on my screen. Anyways, today we're going to talk about oh, he can't hear. Yeah, you can't hear. I'm talking to you. I don't know who you are, but I need to know who you are to leave you in the room because I don't want to get started talking and then you end up being some crazy person. ST Boy, put your name in the chat and work on your sound. Okay. Now, let's talk about how to network with other investors. And the reason I want to talk about this is because we have a 90-day challenge going on right now. We have a few people in the 90-day challenge. What we're encouraging people to do is to build the habits of successful real estate investors. Okay. You want to close more deals? Find this book. It's on Amazon. Here it is. Okay. It's on Amazon. Find this book. And I talk in there about 5 things that investors need to do in order to start closing more deals. Okay. One of those things is to network with other investors. Okay. So one of the parts of the challenge is every day we encourage investors to talk to other investors. Okay. And all you have to do as a part of the challenge is talk to one other investor a day. Hey, Shamisia Ivy. I might not have that right. Shamika Ivy. Good to have you in the room. Good to have you in the room.
Shamicia.
Shamisia, how'd you hear about us?
It's a funny story. One day I was on Google and I was searching some rental properties because I was in the process of wanting to purchase some already occupied properties. And I came across this number on Google and I just called. And we got to talking and actually made a friend with Mr. What is his name? Darren Linton.
Okay, cool. Cool.
So me and him started texting and everything. He told me about your group.
Okay, cool. I'm glad you came in here. You're in the right room. We invest in real estate. Just in the room right here, I see like people that invest in rental properties, people that flip properties, people that wholesale properties, people that loan money, people that do real estate taxes. I see Irina in the room. She does real estate taxes. People with full-time jobs, people that are advertising on social media. So there's a wide variety of people in the room and welcome. Okay, welcome. All right, so one of the successful habits for real estate investors is to network with other real estate investors. If you're on Facebook and you want to get in the room, Riz, put a comment down below. Put a comment down there for with the link to get in this room. If people are trying to get in this room. All right, I'm gonna try to stay focused, y'all, because I'm actually trying to I'm trying to get through some material. Oh, it's so hard to be focused. All right, let's focus. One of the things investors do that are successful is that we network with other investors. Okay. And in our 90-day challenge, we ask people to talk to at least one other investor per day. Okay. All you have to do is talk to one other investor per day. So if you've logged into this room right here, you could almost do everything that's in our 90-day challenge on this call right here, right? You could talk to sellers. You could make an offer on this call right here because you got property owners on the call. You could learn, right, for 30 minutes. We challenge you to do some learning for 30 minutes. And then we also challenge you to do some networking with other investors. And so today's focus is all about how to talk to other investors, right? How to learn from other investors. I still do this almost every single day, and it's almost just a habit that is natural at this point. So if you got some pen and paper, I'm going to go through the notes that I took on how to learn from other investors and how I would go about this. One of the things that I think new people struggle with, or just people who are trying to network better struggle with, is like what to say when you're talking to someone that's an investor. Okay, what to say if you're in a room of people and they're real estate people, maybe you've done a deal or you haven't done a deal. What do I say to people? Like, how can I learn from other people? Okay. And I'll tell y'all something that has been told to me several times that I have found to be true. If you go into a room, okay, and you're trying to learn from other investors or you're trying to talk and network with other investors and you're nervous, you're not the only one that's nervous, right? You're not the only person that hasn't talked to you before or you haven't talked to them before. So you're all going in with some level of, I haven't met this person. I don't know what to say. I don't know if they're going to accept me or not. All of these feelings that we have when we're trying to talk to new people or we're trying to meet new people. And so there are some things that you can do that just make this easier. Okay. Number one, you have to notice that you all have something in common from the very beginning. Okay. If you're going to a meetup or if you're going to a networking event or if you're jumping on a call like this, what do y'all have in common? What do you have in common? Anybody know? What's something you have in common? Mike, what's something y'all have in common?
We're all interested in real estate.
Interested in real estate. So, one of the things you could do is talk about real estate, talk about the real estate market, ask questions about the market itself, ask questions about things you've heard about, interest rates, or what do they think is going to go on in the next 12 months in the real estate market. Ask them about their last deal. Talk to them about their last deal. Talk to them about your calls that you're making. Everybody in our 90-day challenge is supposed to be talking to sellers, making offers. So you could talk to them about the offer you made this morning. Okay. And you can learn from them by asking them about the last seller they talked to. Today, I got a lead this morning from a lady that wants to sell a single family house. She says she'd be glad to hear a cash offer, right? She would love to hear a cash offer for her house. The house is rented for $1,300 a month. It's in a great location. The tenant is paying. And so we made her a cash offer, right? And she immediately declined the offer. She said, "There's no way I would sell it that low. This is a great area. This is a great location." But just in that call alone, I was able to learn something from another investor. So you might say, "Oh man, how can somebody who talks to so many sellers learn?" Do y'all know what I asked that woman? I asked her something that I asked pretty much every older investor that I talk to, which is real estate worth it? That question right there sparks so many conversations. You can ask, is real estate worth it? You could ask them, like, hey, it sounds like you're more experienced in this than me. Is real estate worth it? Has it paid off for you? Darian, have you ever asked anybody that?
Oh yeah, it opens up a whole book.
What do they say?
They tell you, man, it's worth it. Just stick in there and
They all
hold.
tell you that.
Yeah,
They all
they
say
all
it's
tell you
worth
that
it.
it's worth
Stick
it.
with that. They all say keep it going. They all say you just got to keep it going, stay in it, stick with it. And they sometimes will start to give you tips, right? They will tell you stuff like if you tell them what you're looking for. I told this lady this morning, I'm looking for houses that need to be fixed up. I'm looking for houses that might need repair. And she texted me a number to a guy. She said he has a bunch of houses. He might talk to you and sell you something, right? So you learn from other investors by having conversations with them. And it starts with you recognizing what you have in common. Okay. You have real estate in common. A lot of times you have financial independence. You're seeking financial benefit and independence. That's something that you have in common. Okay. You have the economy in common, right? Think about things that you have in common, right? Your desire to improve your situation. These are things that you can talk about with other investors, how to learn from other investors. Okay. When these conversations start, ask them about deals that they've done or deals that they want to do. Ask them about their criteria. What's your buy box? What do you buy? Right now, everybody that's in the room that says you want to be wholesaling, if you find a buyer, every single buyer, you should be asking them, what is your buy box? If I brought it to you tomorrow, what would you buy? Right? Because you're looking to wholesale deals. It helps if you have buyers that you can bring a deal to. Okay. So if you're watching this video and you want to know what John Crutchfield buys, I buy smoking deals. Okay. I need stuff that's 50 to 40 to 30% on the dollar, right? 30 cents on the dollar. I need stuff that is in great locations where there's room for me to make money and room for you too as well, right? I look for things that we can have our money out of them within a year's period of time. I don't mind if it's commercial, if it's residential. Like we have a wide net on what we're willing to buy. I love things right now where the seller is willing to carry or do some type of owner financing. Love things where the interest rate is lower than we can get from the bank right now. In a heartbeat, I can tell you what we're buying, what we look for. And so can other investors when you're having conversations with them. Okay. How else can you learn from other investors? Y'all know other questions I ask? What banks do you use? What lenders do you use? How do you finance your properties? How do you manage your properties? Who is your property manager? I will tell you about the only thing that most investors don't want to give up is their contractor. Okay, most investors will not tell you who their contractor is because they don't want you to take their contractor, especially if they're doing a bunch of different deals. Okay, but contractors will tell you who their lenders are. They'll tell you who their realtors are. Investors will tell you who their realtors are, who their contractors are. Investors will tell you a lot of things that can help you in your business. If you're making calls, Fantasia, for example, I know she's making cold calls. So if you're making cold calls and you get on the phone with somebody who's an investor, it's a great time for you to build a relationship with them, right? Ask them how they got their last few deals. I ask that on this call all the time. If somebody new comes in, I'll find out if they're doing deals and I'll just ask them, how did you get your last deal? What am I doing there? I'm learning from other investors. A lot of times I'll ask you all if you're implementing something that we're working on. So Isaac, I think last call, I was like, hey, you're making these social media posts. Isaac is being very consistent right now with posting for leads on social media. If y'all go to Isaac Grant's Facebook page, follow him and look at what he's doing. Okay, he's being very consistent posting on social media that he's looking for a real estate deal. Okay, that's creating awareness in other people that Isaac is a real estate investor. So when I ask Isaac, hey man, and put it in the chat because I know you're at work, but when I ask him, how is that going for you? Are you getting any leads from it? Is it sparking any conversations? Not only am I building a relationship with Isaac, but I'm also learning, right, from another investor. If he tells me, man, I get a lead every time I post, I get a lead every day, or if I get a lead every week, that gives me the confidence to do what he's doing. Let me try what he's doing, right? I can tell that some of his posts are chat GPT generated, right? I can tell because I use chat GPT. I want to know if that's working. Is that working for Isaac? So you can learn what's working from other investors by having conversations with them, being in the rooms where they are. Okay. How else you can learn from other investors? I think one of the things that you want to think about is what are investors doing and how can you get in front of them? Okay. What are investors doing and how can you get in front of them? I tell you what investors are not doing. Good investors. They're probably not taking today off, right? They probably not watching TV right now, like half the world is. Okay. They're probably talking to sellers or talking to other investors or making offers, right? They're probably doing some type of professional development. These are the things and the activities that investors do. So if you see a flyer for a meetup, like that's your job now is to be at that meetup. If you see a post saying that there's going to be an event somewhere that you can make, like that's your job to be at that event because you can pick up things from other investors, right? If you're looking for cash flow, you can find investors that are making cash flow. Find out how they're making cash flow. What are they doing? If you're looking for something in particular, it doesn't really matter what it is. If you're looking for confidence, if you're looking for deal flow, you want to talk to other investors about how they're doing it. So let's make this practical for somebody watching this. Good to see y'all jump in the room. Chidi, good to see you. I'm seeing some other people pop in here. Jermaine, good to see you as well. I don't know who Zoom user is, but good to see you, Zoom user. But one of the things I think that really helps is just the idea that you can learn from people that are actually doing deals. So making this practical. If you went on Zillow right now, okay, and I teach people who are in the challenge, this is one of the ways to talk to more sellers every single day, okay? You just went on Zillow right now, okay? We can actually do this because this will be fun. Let's see what happens, y'all. I'm gonna share my screen. Let's see if we get lucky today because I can't help it. All right, so I'm sharing my screen. We're gonna go to Zillow. We'll see what happens. We're gonna type in Zillow.com, and I like doing deals right now in Tupelo, Mississippi. Okay. So we're going to look at Zillow. We've got some houses listed for sale here during that huge price drop. That's insane.
I see it.
That's insane. Hey, you need to call them and make that offer that I told you to make.
I'm texting
Hey,
them right
I
now.
bet you we can get it.
I bet you can.
I told y'all I'm trying to stay focused. Darian, make the offer, man. That's when somebody drops their price $50,000, they ready to get out. I'm just saying. All right. So, anyways, what we're going to do here is we're going to go on Zillow and we're going to choose for sale by owners right here.
I'm
Okay.
excited.
All right. So we're going to click apply. All right. So these right here on Zillow are potential for sale by owners. Okay. And we're just going to click on any of them because it doesn't really matter. Today, we're working on talking to other investors. Okay. I'm going to click for sale by owner here. I've got this house on Redbud. How long has it been on the market? It's been on the market for 79 days. Okay. Hasn't sold. Say it's move in ready. They want you to have pre-approved lending. I've got phone numbers here for the seller, y'all. That's why I love for sale by owners, okay, on Zillow. But let's just call and let's see what happens. And our goal for this one is really not, I don't expect to find a deal here, but hey, that might happen. Our goal is to see what we can learn from this investor. Okay, our goal is to see what we can learn.
Hello.
Hey, this is John Crutchfield. How are you doing?
Good. Okay. I can
I see
maybe hear you.
I see a house. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay, perfect. I see a house you got for sale on Redbud Lane in Tupelo.
Yes.
Okay, I buy some investment properties in Tupelo. Would this be a good rental property?
Yeah. The rental in that area would be about 1,500 a month, I'm told, on that house, on that particular house.
Okay, is it vacant?
It is vacant. We first considered renting it, and we had a lot of people inquire, but we decided not to. But anyway, yeah, $1,500 a month is what it was rented for easily. Yes, it's empty. It was my mother's house and passed away, and my brother and myself are joint owners of it. And you can see by my phone number, I take all the calls and things set up. And my brother lives locally there, and he can show it. But a lot of the pictures are on Zillow.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right
Okay.
now.
Okay, all right. And all the information, much of the information is written into that write up there on Zillow.
Yes. So I see that it looks like it's ready to move in.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It doesn't look like it needs a whole lot of work.
Let me tell you something.
Hmm?
If you're planning on renting it, I wouldn't do anything to it because those kind of people are going to tear it up. And you might know that from if you've rented many out in the past, they're going to tear it up. The things in there work right now. We're leaving the washing machine, dryer, and a refrigerator. And there's no need to go in there and jumping everything out, putting new stuff in there because they're just going to tear it up. And you're not going to get a penny more a month for it. So that's my take on it. And
Yeah.
but anyway, you could do what you want, but that's what I would do.
Yeah, I definitely have heard some horror stories of tenants messing up houses, but this one is in a good area. Is there a reason it's been on the market for a while at this point? Have you had any offers you've turned down?
Yeah.
Oh, you still there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
It went out for just a minute, but I hear you now.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. We had an offer the other day and we just couldn't come together. Their highest bid was like 175 and we wanted 180 and the guy said the people above him wouldn't approve it. He actually approved it over the phone with me at 180.
Okay.
And then he called me back the next day and said he was sorry he was going to have to retract his comment because his CEO wouldn't approve it.
Okay.
So I don't know if he was trying to twist my arm to take 175 or not, but we did not. I might add on Zillow, we've noticed a real spike in the people that have seen it in the last 3 or 4 days. So people are beginning to, spring is not far in the corner. We're still trying to sell it ourselves. Well, realtors have tried to list it and we've had multiple calls on them, but we're going to save the realtor fee, try to sell it ourselves.
Yeah, I would totally get that. So, hey, this is a good first call for me to talk to you. My name is John. I'll text
Okay.
you my name and I'm going to do a little bit of more research, maybe drive by it, and then I'll reach
Sure.
back out to you, but I'll text you my name so you'll know because I know I got this out of town number.
Yeah, and I tell you, if you don't, you have my permission to pull up in the driveway and walk around and look around in the windows. Some of the windows didn't have lines in them, but you're welcome to look around, look on the outside. The roof is pretty new and the outside has got a lot of the metal trim, so you don't have to paint, up in the higher areas.
Yes.
So yeah, just look around and if you're interested, like I say, 180 is our lowest. That's as low as we'll go.
Okay, that's good. That's
And
good.
yeah,
I'm hate to cut you off, but I'm gonna do a drive by and then I'll call you back if
okay.
I'm interested. Okay.
All right, John. Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Bye. Bye.
All right, y'all. I don't be playing with y'all. Okay. I'm live on Facebook. So if you watching this on Facebook and you just meeting me for the first time, this is one of our coaching calls. So you're just gonna get a little piece of it. Hey, y'all that's not talking to sellers, I can't play with y'all. The man just picked up the phone on the first call. First ring, he picked up the phone. So if you're talking to sellers, like you can call these people. He picked up the phone on the first call. Fantasia, I ain't playing with you. Call these people. Talk to these people. If they don't answer, leave a voicemail. If they don't answer to your voicemail, send them a text message. Okay. Now, for the people in the room, what are some things you learned from this call? Okay. This was a great call, actually, because I didn't expect him to do what he did. What are some things we learned from talking to another guy that owns property? Y'all got to unmute.
It gave you the information you're looking for.
Like, what are some things we learned?
We learned a little bit about the house, you mentioned about the roof. He let you know you want to come by anytime and observe the house. He gave you time frame on the market, what he willing to take for the house. He kind of shared quite a few nuggets with that you can look into. Then he gave you the rent that was going in the area.
Absolutely. And what's interesting here is when you get them talking, a lot of them will just tell you everything that you want to know without you having to ask. Did y'all notice that?
Yeah.
I asked him, like, had you received any other offers? And he gave me everything that I would want to know. Okay. Just by saying, have you received any other offers? I didn't have to make a cash offer to this guy. Okay. Now we probably still will because that's what we do, right? He's going to say no because our cash offer on a house like this is under 100K. Okay. But it gives him something to consider. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to spend a lot of time on this because he's already told us that he's not going to take less than 180, but we got that number without asking him. Okay. And I want to focus more on what we learned from the other investor, not just stuff about this property. Did y'all notice that he started telling us about rental properties? Did y'all notice he started telling you about what the tenants are going to do if you own the property? Did y'all notice that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason he started telling me is because I positioned myself when I first called him like I was new. Right? When I first called him, I'm just like, hey, would this be a good rental property? Oh man, I did not expect him to do that. He did exactly what investors do. If you position yourself like you could use their help, I have found most investors are extremely helpful. The problem is not that we can't get the information we need. The problem is that we're not talking to people. The problem is that we're nervous or we're concerned about talking to people or we're doing stuff that has nothing to do with real estate. We're watching YouTube, we're watching content. Like you could learn so much more by picking up the phone and just calling somebody and talking to them. And I hate to say it, but I really like the old people. The old people will put you on the game. Okay, Darian will tell y'all, the old people will tell you anything you want to know. You want to know how to manage properties, if you want to know how to lease a property, if you want to know anything about this business, talk to people who are doing the business. Okay, that was pretty cool that he answered. And it was pretty cool that he answered and we were able to get some things from him as well. Oh, yeah, Jermaine, his reaction. One of the things I learned from him on that call, Jermaine, is like how to sell a property. Did y'all see how patient he was with me? Did y'all see how he was willing to answer my questions? A lot of times when I'm trying to sell stuff, I just want people to make a doggone decision. So I'll tell them something like, hey, just go buy the property and whether you want to make an offer or not. That's not going to sell nothing, y'all. That's not going to sell nothing. That's why I hire realtors, okay? Because that's not going to sell anything, okay? You need somebody that'll be patient. You need somebody that'll be understanding and talk to potential buyers just like he did, okay? Love the fact that he took the time to talk to us, that he also mentioned that we could go out to the property and look at it. He just gave all the information that a prospective buyer would need so you can learn how to sell a property. Somebody asked, so would you invest in this property? Me? Not really. That doesn't meet the criteria that I explained when I was first on the call. I look for deals. So I want this property at 50% off. Why do I want it at 50% off? Is that Shamicia? Why would you buy something for 50% off? You answer that for me.
Because you getting a deal.
Yeah. What could you do if you get something for 50% off? What options do you have?
To save money.
Save money, but what could you do once you buy it for 50% off? What options do you have?
If it ain't the same money, I don't know.
Save money is a good answer, right?
You could
You,
wholesale it.
you could sell it to somebody else and make money, right? You could borrow against it. Most banks will let you borrow against property up to 80% of the value, 75, 80%. So if you're getting it at a discount, you have the option to sell it to somebody else. You have the option to borrow against it.
I guess it all just falls back in that category to save money.
Yeah, save money.
Don't
We'll go
make
with save
money.
money. But if I bought the property for what he's asking for, I don't have the ability to sell it to anybody else. I don't have the ability to go borrow again. I guess I could borrow some of it against it, but I can't borrow against it the way I could if I had equity. So we teach in this group that we buy, you make your money when you buy. Now, some people buy investments, right? They're trying to make a return on their money. That's a different strategy. That's not really what I do. So that's something totally different. But this property right here could be a great investment for someone if they were looking to invest money. If they were looking to 10, 15% on their money every year and not pay any taxes on it, this property would be a great asset. But those are the people that we're wholesaling to, people who think like that. Those are the people that we're selling the property to if we're wholesaling. Okay. So good question. Good question. All right. So a few more things before we open it up for Q&A. Okay. When we think about how to learn from other investors, okay, what's equally as important is what an investor says is what they don't say. Okay. What's equally important as what an investor says is what they don't say. Okay. So when you're talking to an investor and they tell you all of the success that they've had, or when they tell you like how they made money, a good question to ask them is, can you tell me a time you lost money? Can you tell me a time that it didn't work out? Especially those of you that are constantly on social media, we're constantly posting about what goes right. We're not posting about stuff that goes wrong, right? If somebody's doing real estate deals, I guarantee you they have things that have not went well. You want to find out about that. What did you do wrong? You bought properties worth 180,000 for 190,000, right? If you overpay, that's a problem, right? Or you bought a bunch of rental properties when you didn't have any income coming from somewhere else, right? You'll hear that a lot from people that get in this business. You want to talk to them about the issues that they face in their business and the challenges, because you can learn from those challenges and hopefully make your own mistakes. Hopefully you can avoid some mistakes because you're still going to make your own. Okay. I see that. I see your question in the chat. Cool. Yeah. Shamisi, if you got followers on Facebook, we need to talk. We need to chat.
I
Okay.
got almost 90,000
Oh, yeah.
followers on Facebook.
You probably need to show us how to build our following on Facebook.
I can make a sale at any time. I just got to know what to do.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Fantasia's like, yes, teach us how to grow our following to 90,000 people. We're going to talk about that later. But yeah, like when you're talking to other investors, find out how they're winning. Most of them will be they'll be very open about how they're winning. If you meet somebody and you're talking to them and you ask them, hey, how's business going? Tell me about your last few deals, and they don't want to tell you, those people are either not really doing deals or they're just not people that you need to associate with, right? Most investors I've found are very giving, they're very knowledge sharing. You all meet them. Sometimes they come in the room. We share things with, y'all see my friends come in the room. They're going to tell y'all what's going on. They're going to tell y'all what's working in their business. They're going to tell you what's not working, what not to do. And you should be open to receiving that information. I will tell y'all though, and this was my last note on this topic. Okay. The best way to learn from other investors is to bring value to other investors. Okay. So the best way to learn from other investors is to be bringing them something, right? Bring them deals, bring them opportunities. Demisi is like, she got 90, what did she say? She got 90,000 followers. She says she's reached 9 million people with her posts in 20 days. Hey, put your Facebook name in here. But that's value, right? Like instantly you have her bringing value to the group. This is her first day in the group.
My husband is on this call too. He can tell you we reach that many people a week.
What do y'all do?
We do family content. I just specialize in videography. Like we just do a lot of content and we go viral every week.
Hey y'all, this is fun. Watch this. Shamisia, how much Facebook sending you every month?
It's an income.
I know. How much you getting?
Over 1,000.
Look, she making money from Facebook, y'all. How many times y'all logging on and just using it, but y'all ain't making money? This is good.
Well, everything I do, I'm gonna flip a coin.
Hey, I like this. I like this. I'm glad you jumped on here. Don't let this be y'all's last call. And we're gonna talk more about what you got going on and talk more about like how you could potentially leverage your following to generate more revenue. But it sounds like you already got that. So that's pretty cool. Put your name in there so we can look you up. Put your name in the chat. Okay, last thing I was saying, okay, is that investors like to be around people that are bringing value, okay? So whatever your specialty is, whether it's you do maintenance, whether it's you're good with technology, whether you're taxes and tax preparers, whatever your specialty is, whether you don't mind talking to sellers, because some people on here, they don't mind. They'll jump on the phone with a seller in a heartbeat. Whether I'm looking at Talandra here. Talandra's a great event planner, right? If that's your thing, bring that value to other investors. Okay. Bring that value to other investors and you will be able to learn from them. Okay. You have to be doing something though. Okay. Like stagnation, turn off. Okay. Coming up with ideas, but taking no action, huge turn off to other investors. Okay. Shamisia just put her name in the chat for y'all that want to connect with her on social media, kind of see what she's doing. All right, so that's it for today. If you want some more ideas about how to talk to other investors, grab the book, 90 Days to Make 100K, 90-Day Challenge to Make 100K in Real Estate. You can find this on Amazon. Get a copy of it. It's a very easy read, but there's some more strategies in here for how you can network with other investors and leverage those relationships, how you can learn from them. We do this call right here every Monday at 12 o'clock, noontime. And usually we record it and it's posted to Facebook. So if you're not able to get in here every week, you should be able to find it there. If you want to get on our email list or you want to connect with me further, please go ahead and hit the DM button and send a DM to me. And someone on my team, probably Riz, will reach out to you. Okay, I'm going to log off of Facebook here and we're just going to check in with the people in the room. Thanks for jumping on. Hopefully this helps y'all network with other investors. All right, I see phone number. Okay, good. Yeah, Shamicia, I'm glad you're reaching out. Shamicia, what I primarily teach people to do is to find properties that have some kind of distress. Okay, the property is going to have some distress, or the property owner is going to have a distress. So this is like your old house in a neighborhood that needs to be fixed up, or this is a inherited house. Maybe some kids inherited a house.
I got one in mind right now.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? And so what we do is we put that property under contract, okay, to buy it. We try to put it under contract at a price that allows us to either wholesale it or flip it. Okay. So we're not paying full price for the property. We're paying discounted prices. And the reason somebody's willing to give a discount is because there's a property problem, right? There's some kind of problem or the owner has a problem. Maybe the owner is behind on his taxes, or maybe the owner is stressed out in some other way, inspections, the
The
tenant.
house I got in mind, it failed the USDA loan.
Okay. Yep. So that would be an example, right? They tried to sell it, but they couldn't sell it because it needs work, right? It needs some kind of repairs. So what we'll do is we'll offer a discounted price to that person. And then once we get the property under contract, we'll sell that contract to either another investor or I buy them and I just rent them out. Because the bank will actually allow you to borrow against properties when you have equity. Okay, and just using a simple example, if I find a property for $200,000, okay, but it appraises for 280. Okay, I'm using this example because this is one we have under contract right now. So if I find a property for 200, but it appraises for 280, a lot of times the bank will loan me 200 or 215 or 225. Okay, and I can rent that property out. And I have no money, but I have a property now that I own. I have no money in that deal. So we look for properties that are at a discount. And the only way you're going to find a property at a discount, y'all, is if you find people that have problems and offer to solve those problems for them. Okay. If you want to know more about that, Darian is a great person to connect with on that. Of course, we have coaching programs that
He said he too busy.
He is busy. He is busy. We do this call every week, though. So this is a place where you could come every single week. We do this.
I already been worrying.
Yeah, yeah. And he's smart. I do the same thing. If somebody asks me if they want to learn what we do, we just ask them to come to this call because it's simpler. Again, we do have a second call that we do later in the week for people in the coaching program. So if you're interested in that, just let me know. What else y'all want to talk about? We got 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes.
So how do I sign up for the coaching program?
So right now we have a 90-day challenge offer that just expired. So we have maybe 10 people right now that are in our 90-day challenge. If you're interested in the coaching program, Riz, who's one of my assistants on here, will send you some details on that. We're going to connect with you on Facebook too, because I'm telling you, I need to learn how to grow my social media. She got 86,000 followers, y'all.
I'm gonna tell you right now, don't go to sleep on me because I know a lot of people.
Where you live at?
I'm not far from Tupelo.
Okay. That's pretty cool. Tell us this, and I hate to do this because I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you next week. I'm not going to interview you or nothing, but I do think some people want to grow their social media following. So have you ever thought about doing a training or doing something where you teach people how to grow their following?
Yeah, I have. It just a lot of people can't stay consistent, but I'm gonna tell you this. If you are a person that if it don't flip over right then and there, you get discouraged, it ain't for you. because you have to really stay consistent. If you don't go viral the same day you post something, you can't give up and just stop. You got to keep just putting out good content to get noticed.
Y'all know what's funny about this too? It was like Shami said, so you come in a room like this, right? And I'm instantly thinking, like, how can I add value to you? How can you add value to me? I don't know you. I don't know what products y'all sell. I know you said your husband was on here. What's your husband's name?
His name is Benny.
Benny. Okay, so I don't know exactly what y'all do, okay? But when I see somebody with 89,000 followers, okay, on Facebook, the quickest way for her to make money off of her followers, quickest, easiest way is for her to just say, hey, I have 89,000 followers on Facebook, and I'm doing a training this Saturday to teach people how to grow their following to 89,000 or more. And she charges a fee for people to come on and learn how to grow their following to 89,000 followers. Tons of potential there when you have a following, because some people want to hear like a real person, not some imaginary person, a real person explain how did you grow your following, right? Step by step. So anyway, I'm kind of excited.
Or better yet, the subscription program that Facebook is actually running right now that I am a part of. If you got 89,000 followers and they pay $1 a month to you, you do the math.
Hold on, what you talking about?
Right.
$1 a month per user?
Yes.
Okay, and you just have to make sure you keep quality content posting on that page.
Not real. People have gotten to know me so well, I may not post for 2 days or whatever. I may just reach out and encourage people. And I'm gonna tell you one thing that I do that a lot of content creators don't do. I respond to my followers. If they send me a message, because we very faith-based. So we post a lot of godly encouragement stuff. So they'll inbox me and say, hey, I need this. I respond. So they go tell the next person about it. Then they come. And I just work it like that sometimes.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. I also see that it looks like you posted a property for rent a few years back.
I have some properties.
So you already have some properties.
Yep.
See, I can't be playing with you. You already an entrepreneur.
I got that property is already occupied right now at $1,300 a month.
Okay.
She need to figure out how to refinance one of them. Tell them about
I need to refinance.
Okay. Good. We can help each other for sure. Glad that you connected in here. Other questions this morning, other things y'all are working on. Anybody making calls and running into questions about the calls you're making? I think somebody, I see something. But Shamisia, you asked me, how do you create an offer? How do you close on it? How did you get the first property that I'm seeing on your Facebook page?
My husband had that property for over 12 years now. So with the mindset that I have, he already had that property before we got married. Okay, so my head just told you a while ago, if it's not making money, it don't make sense to me. So I told him, I said, okay, we need to take the capital that we have and renovate this property completely. So that's what we done. We renovated it. We did the updates that it needed. And it went from like 600 rent to what we at now, 1,300. So that's how the property he already had. It was like his first house that he lived in. And he just kept the property and moved on or whatever and just rented it out.
Okay.
We got a good bit of etiquette in the house that we need to get out.
Yeah, we can talk about that. Okay. I try to be careful about trying to answer a bunch of different questions on the initial call, but I do think that this is the room you need to be in. We teach some of the stuff we teach over time, right? How to make offers, how to close deals, how to refinance properties. Those are things that I'll address over time. But we'll also
Okay.
reach out to you and talk to you about the coaching program too.
Okay.
Sure. And thanks for jumping in, Darian. Good. I like when you invite people in the room who got stuff going on because she has a ton of value that she can bring to the room. Like I saw Fantasia say, yeah, like about the social media piece. There's some opportunities for you as well, Shamicia,
And
to
I'm down for that. Help me, I help you. Like I said, my platform that I have created, I have helped a lot of people with businesses and advertisement. People pay to advertise stuff. I got all kind of money income coming through my page.
yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, then we need to talk about that subscription thing because my little Facebook check is not like that. All right. What else y'all got? Fantasia asked how long you've been building your following. Hey, Fantasia, what I'm really hoping to do is be able to get her onto a call where we just talk to her about her social media and maybe we record a podcast or something. We'll work on that. What else y'all got? We got a couple more minutes. Anybody making calls and you're having trouble with them or just not able to find enough people to talk to?
I think, John, this is cheating. I went through about a little over half the list. I texted everybody on the list. I was having issues with Google Voice for some reason. It's almost like every 50 lines I would text, it would basically flag it saying I'm violating the acceptable use. So I would change up the text. They would let me text a little bit more, then would flag that. But I just think the list that I'm working with, it's just, I haven't really been getting good results from all the texts that I've texted. Only like 2 or 3 people responded. And I switched up my text a little bit. But I have been calling. I just know I need to keep on calling. And I need to start doing more for sale by owner in Tucson. So I'm going to start that as well. But I know I need a new list.
Yeah. How many sellers are you talking to on a daily basis?
At this point, I might get 1 or 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the things you don't want to fall into is when you're busy, but you're not really being productive.
Yeah.
So the challenge goal is to talk to 5 sellers every day. So y'all, I didn't make this call up that we just did on the call today, right? I just picked up the phone and called somebody. Okay. So if you're running into an issue where you have a list that's bad or the data is not good or whatever, because we run into those things all the time. Like we pull lists all the time. We run into good data, bad data, whatever. We don't want the data to stop us from having the conversations. Right. So I know with you, we went over for sale by owners or realtor listings because you're actually not necessarily looking to do a whole bunch of deals. You're okay if you do 1 or 2 deals this year. So instead of struggling with the data, why not get on the phone with people? You don't want to fall into the trap of I was busy calling and texting and the system wasn't working and all of these things that we make, like we really make excuses. I've done this, so I'm talking to myself as well. It would be better for you to talk to 5 sellers and look for motivation on the MLS than to struggle with a direct to seller list and talk to nobody.
Okay.
Right? It would be better. Now, the direct to seller list is going to get you potentially people who are not on the market, which you may get better leads. But you gotta have the seller conversations. In fact, I would go ahead and say it. If you're one of our challenge folks and you're not talking to 5 sellers a day, you're pretty much wasting your time. Because the time that it's going to take you to learn how to have these conversations and the reps and the practice that you need to put in, most people cannot wait long enough to get their first deal to stay in the game long enough. So start getting the reps. Like even if you're just talking to realtors, like talk to realtors looking for seller motivation. Look for properties that's been on the market a while, people that are motivated. Like y'all noticed on the call earlier, there were several reasons why I did this. But on the call earlier, I didn't spend a lot of time talking to him. Y'all know why I didn't spend a lot of time talking to him? Zero motivation. Right? He wants to sell it, but he's not in a desperate need to sell it. He knows what it's worth. He gave me the price that he was willing to sell it for several times. Like, it's no need for me to talk to him for 30 minutes unless I started talking to him about other stuff. Maybe he's interested in private lending on a real estate deal. Maybe he's interested in doing something else together that could be a business opportunity. but it was no need to try to buy his house at 50% off when I didn't hear any property problem or owner problem. He didn't discuss that. So I know Chidi's not the only one. I have this same issue sometimes, and I get leads sent to me every day, Chidi, and sometimes I don't want to call them. But that's our job as investors. If you don't want to cold call, go talk to 5 people at a RIA meeting. Go to RIA meetings every day and look for people that have problems. Look for investors that got in over their head. Look for people that they got into a deal, but they don't have the money to finish it. Look for things like that where there's going to be opportunity for you to make some money. But don't struggle with the list and say, well, I worked on the list, but I didn't call the seller. Like there's an easier way to call the sellers. I just showed y'all. There's an easier way. What else y'all working on? Anybody got anything exciting? I didn't get any leads while we were on the call today. Otherwise, I'm trying to point those out, but we didn't get any today. Anybody need something? Go ahead, Darren.
I'm working on that Smoky Mountain for you too.
Yeah, you saw him drop that price like that. Now, the sucky thing about that, Darren, is now that property will never appraise for more than what it's at right now.
Yep.
And so whoever dropped that price like that, they're not thinking like it would have been smarter for them to call some investors that they know and tell them about that discount than to drop that price $50,000.
Yep.
So now that's another reason why I don't like buying off the market if it's a rental property. I mean, a flip property, because now every appraiser that goes and appraises that property is going to see it didn't sell for 239. So now they got to drop to 189. And that's now the max that property is ever going to appraise for, even though the house right next door sold for 220 and it's smaller,
Right.
didn't have a swimming pool. So the house is worth 180, right? He's just in a bind and he needs to get rid of it. So you should call him back, tell him, hey, we got an offer for 140,
I did.
145, something like that. And that might be one we can scoop up this week. Because he's motivated. Do y'all see that? Do y'all see like why you would dig deeper into the ones like you showed me a $50,000 price drop? You put your cards on the table. Like you're ready to get rid of this property. Let's see how ready you are to get rid of this property. Darian has a personal contact with the seller too. So let's walk through that real quick, Shamicia, because shoot. Let me, hey Riz, can you go to Robert's meeting and tell him I'm stuck on this call again and y'all just game plan for what we're going to do this week?
Okay, sir. No worries, sir.
Hey, thanks. Okay, let's look at this deal. What you got, Shamicia?
What I was talking to Darren about it. Am I saying your name right?
It's good enough. Come on.
I
You
promise
know
you.
the deal that we was talking about on 136 Anthony Street.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, so what info you need to know about it?
All right, it's in Verona.
It's in Verona. It's owned by an investor.
Okay, right now it's on the MLS.
Yeah.
It's a realtor got it right now.
And
Yeah.
it's Jazz.
Jazz got it. Yep.
Okay, so what's the problem? What is the problem with it?
It failed inspection.
Yeah, it failed inspection, and I went and looked at it, and I think it got some foundation issues.
So it failed inspection. You were interested in buying this?
Yes, actually, I was getting ready to get a loan to buy 45 properties at one time. And this house was in the deal. But she also made a statement that she was very motivated to sell, that she would sell each property individually. So with it failing the inspection and being on the market as long as it's half, I was thinking maybe could I just get her to come down on that one.
So this actually happened in our group this morning. We have a group chat. People are in the challenge. We have a group chat. Twana asked, okay, if the only number I have is the company number, is it okay to call the company number? Y'all, we can't over this business, right? The only way that you're going to know whether you can get a lower price is to ask, right? That's the only way we know if we can get a deal. Now, the issue with this property that I see right away, it is listed on the market with a realtor. You know, that changes things a little bit, right? Most of the stuff we do is off market.
Right.
But you could just call Jazz and be like, hey, Jazz, do you think they would take less now that the property failed inspection?
Then she'll tell you the truth.
And I'll tell y'all right now,
She probably don't want to do it because she don't make no money.
well,
She'll tell you though.
I mean, Darian has a better relationship with Jazz than I do, but I'll just tell y'all, this property has window units and it's
Yeah,
in Verona.
they only replaced the windows in the front. Everything at the back of the house is like the old windows.
Mhm.
And I seen some more issues in the inside of the home. It's like they just done enough to say, hey, I want 119,000.
And guess what? If this property is worth 119,000, I'm a multi-millionaire.
That what he said.
The location is not the best.
I want to use it for a rental property.
You need to buy it cheaper. But if you want to buy properties for 119,000, please, let's just talk afterwards. I'll sell you 40 of them. Like 100%. That's not the game that I'm in. We would buy this property for 40 or 50,000 bucks. If that. Right? Now, the beautiful thing here is that the property has a problem. Okay? So if the property has a problem, problems equal dollars off. Okay, problems equal discounts. The only way you're gonna know is to talk to the realtor and ask.
So my question needs to be, why did it fail inspection?
Sure, you can ask that. You can ask that. And again, you don't really know exactly what our business model is. So I would just say we don't usually get things at 50% off from realtors, especially Jazz. Her job is to sell properties for as much as she possibly can. So Darian, I'll let y'all connect on that. Because when I saw Jazz's name, I was like, I've never been able to get a deal out of her.
You're right.
All right. That's just me.
I don't want to be wasting no time.
You got a connection to the seller too, so maybe there's a way that y'all could call that seller directly. All right, anybody else got anything else today? Last thing I'll say on that, Shamicia, is there's nothing that stops you from talking to the realtor. There's nothing that stops you from making an offer. The only thing that stops us from talking to the realtor and making offers is us. You don't need permission from anybody else to make an offer, okay? And one of the things that I hope you get from a room like this is people to bounce things off of. Hey, is this a good deal? If you got $119,000 burning a hole in your pocket, I can share other properties that would be a better way to buy, right? I think I could help you. If you just want that property in particular and you got $119,000, go ahead and do that, right? That makes the comps go up for me on everything I own over there. But in general, that property is probably overpriced and the work needs to be done to it in order for them to get that price. Okay. All right, we're gonna jump off here. Y'all try to call some sellers today. Not try. Make sure you talk to at least 5. Okay. Shamicia, you made me laugh today. She from Mississippi, y'all. Okay. Anything else? Y'all good? All hearts and minds clear? I hear MLK on in the room next to me, so I got to go spend 10 minutes with my kids and then it's back to work. Talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good day.